Hola, hola everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Today I wanted to do a quick flip through of my journal thus far and how I have been using it. So this is actually an old journal that I was trying to use last year but never really got. I mean, there was a couple I used, a few pages, but I stopped because 2020 sucked and I didn't really want to keep track of any of that. So when 2020 started, I decided that I wanted to go back to keeping a journal of my reading, and so I decided to just keep the same one. There was no reason to spend money on a new one when I still had basically more than half of this journal that I could use. So I made a title page for 2021. I wrote down some of my goals that I discussed in a video. So if you want to check out that in more detail, I will link that so you can watch if you'd like. I started with please be nice because 2020 did suck. So I had to go and sort of replenish the materials that I had back when I used to do a lot of journaling, but I hadn't used in such a long time that I got rid of a lot of things because I never really used them, and I never thought that I would really go back to journaling, and then I did. So I had to go and get a couple of things. So I didn't want to splurge too much, so I got just a couple. I love the black and sort of neutral tones that I had been seeing a lot, so I got these two washi tapes from Michaels, and they're just stripes and dots, and I've basically just been using these. I will probably go through them relatively quickly, and then I do want to get more just because I didn't want to get too much before I really realized whether I was going to be focusing on journaling or not. And now that we're in March and I have been journaling pretty consistently throughout, I think it's pretty safe bet that I'll continue to do so, at least, for now, and it will be okay to buy some new materials. So I have just a regular Sharpie, and then I have a Sharpie pen that I use for most of my writing. I also got these online. I got these are metallic color markers that I have been using pretty consistently. I use these three colors, the gold, the black, and the gray the most. I have used the copper and the white a few times as well. I think I stole this from my office, and it was just to keep all of the old pages that I didn't really want to look at together so that when I open it, it opens directly to the new year. Then I also got this, which is like scrap paper, like scrapbook paper, and it has the same sort of color scheme that I wanted to stick with, and so I've been using that. I like it a lot. Then I also just have some black thick paper and some that is like this brown as well. So these are really just the papers that I've been using the most when it comes to my journal spreads. And then I also got a couple sticker books. So I got this one, which is the Antiquarian sticker book, and it has some really sort of weird and cool ones. I don't know that I'll use all of them. Like, I don't really know what I'll use some of these for, but it is cool to have them, and I do like the floral ones. What I do wish is that it didn't have, and I'll show you, I wish that when the sticker was cut out that it would stay in the edge of the image and not take in sort of this background, but it's been okay. And then I got this one also at Michael's, and this is Recollections, and it just had some floral designs, which I haven't used. I have used some a lot and others not at all, but you can see some of them throughout here in this first spread. Another tool that I've been using a lot and that I have found super helpful is these Recollections sort of tape dispenser thingies, and they're just easy to hold, but they do not last very long, at least not for me. So I did also buy a Scotch mega glue stick. So then I did January. I did my TBR for January, which I stuck to pretty well. I read everything that I had, and I even added some new ones as I was reading more than I thought. And then the videos that I wanted to upload or film for the month. I did this Books of 2021. This is a marker that I wish I hadn't used. I want to get the Tombow ones because they are less sort of bright and in your face. But this is to keep track of the titles that I've been reading, the date that I finished them on, and the rating. Then I just did some pages, some spreads to keep track of what I am thinking about the books that I'm reading, because I'm also getting back into being much more consistent on my videos, and so I want to make sure that I can remember what I think about them and write down some specific things that I want to make sure that I say while I'm doing my wrap-ups or reviews. Then sometimes I will plan out videos that need it. For the most part, I just sit in front of the camera and talk, but sometimes I do need to plan what I'm going to say, especially if I'm going to make a list or anything like that. So these are the books that I spoke about when I was doing my first anticipated book releases video. I have done 2 this year, one that was kind of a lot of different things, and one that focused specifically on the somewhat Latinx releases that I really want to focus on. And then I had printed some images that I've been using throughout. I have since run out of this, but I don't currently have a printer at my disposal, so when I do, I'll be able to print a few more. Then this is just a random little page that I made of books that I always obviously want to read all of the books that I have physically on my shelves at the beginning of the year. You guys know this, but these are ones that if nothing else, I do want to make sure that I read these just because I've had them for such a long time, or they're just books that I really, really want to, be able to say that I've read. And then some rereads that I want to focus on for this year as well. Then this is a different book tracker. I have a third book tracker that I use on a Google Sheet, but this it has a title, the year published. Was it in my 2020 TBR, meaning was it physically on my shelves on January 1st of 2021, which means that it had been physically on my 2020 TBR. The gender of the author, if I know it, or if maybe I need to research it or whatever. Is it does it have some queer components? Is it diverse in any way? And then I might if I think I might need to remember what about it, I will write it next to it. If not, I'll put just yes or no if I think it'll be pretty obvious at the end of the year once I'm doing my yearly wrap up. The genre, the age group, and was it a 2021 release. The Google Sheet that I have goes much more into detail and keeps track of a lot of other things as well, but I didn't want to use up all the space in my journal for that. It's much easier to keep track of in the Google Sheet. This I started to do and have since stopped. I think at the end of the year I will print the actual covers, and I think it'll look nicer than me trying to draw them, because some were pretty easy, and then I just kind of stopped. And for these, I had been using either these or these other ones that I have, which are also Sharpie brand. Then these are just some things that I'm grateful for. I've been writing as the year goes on, and I left another page to continue on. Just another page for reviews. And then for January, these are the days that I read in January. So I read every day of the month except for 2 days. And then here are some of the stickers from that book that I showed you earlier. Then this is my new to shelf page. So this is where I'm keeping track of the books that I am purchasing, and I hope to only keep it for this one page and not purchase much more than what will fit on this page. I would like to reread the main Jane Austen novels, but then also some other things that have been authored by her, and so I just made a little checklist for myself. More review and thoughts pages. And then this is my Read Your Jam books list. So these are all of the books that I physically had on my shelf. It goes on for a couple pages, but the books that I physically had on my shelf. And so if I unhaul, I'm putting a little pink X and then a gray, filling in the square in gray if I do go ahead and read it, so that I can keep track. More of my thoughts pages. Again, you see that I love these colors, and I'm using them a lot. This was actually, I didn't make a February title page. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's that I forgot or what, but this, I guess this counts as my February title page. So I have the little calendar up here. It's a Black History Month, so I wanted to focus mostly on Black authors, specifically Black female authors, because you all know that I read mostly female authors. And so this is my TBR. And then another little sticker from that book, more thoughts on the books that I have been reading. And then these are the videos that I want to upload or film in the month of February. More reviews. I write a lot when I'm reading, so I make a lot of these pages. Then again, this is another planning page where I did an auto buy authors video that I uploaded, and so here's where I just planned that out. And then this is how I have been keeping track of the days that I've been reading in February, similarly to how I did in January, but this time I just used little hearts. And so these are some of the stickers that came in this little pad. And then this is just a monthly reading chart, so I'm just putting how many books I have been reading. And I'll continue to fill it in as the months go on. And then the countries that I have read in 2021. So far, only 6 of them, but I really want... See, so it's either countries that are the setting of the book, or if the author is from a different country. So I want to try and be less sort of centered in America, and so I'm just keeping track here, and hopefully this will be fully filled out by the end of the year. More reviews pages that I have made, and then after this is just the pages that I did for March, which I did a little plan with me, so that'll be a separate video. So yeah, you'll see the color scheme has been pretty consistent throughout. And yeah, I sort of don't need that many pages for every month, mostly just for my thoughts and reviews pages. But thank you for watching and for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is a minimalism art, and I got this probably on Amazon. It's basically where I buy I have bought all of my previous journals. So thank you for watching and for listening. I love you all very much. Have a good one.